Hello, my name's Mel, welcome to my world, and for those of you that are new to my channel, it's all about self-built campervans and campervan related stuff, and occasionally I make videos about van life and full-time van life in particular, and I live full-time in this campervan. Now, something people always ask me is, what advice would you give to somebody wanting to get into van life for the first time? And that's quite a hard question to answer, but one thing I will say, a really good idea is to get yourself something like this. I'm back in Kent, by the way, back on my home turf. Here's my car, have a look at this. This is my car, it's been sat here for 8 months. 8 months that's been sat there. And this is my lockup. And I highly recommend anyone getting into van life, get themselves one of these small garages. Now look, to show you what I mean. This cost literally 50 quid a month, and it's the best £50 a month you could ever spend, because in here is everything I own. Literally everything I own is in this lockup and in my van. But as you can see, it's a bit of a mess, and the reason I'm here this weekend is because in this lockup I've got a load of diving equipment, and I'm quite horrified at what I found. I'm so glad I come here. Yeah, in this bag I've got scuba diving equipment, and it's covered in mouse droppings. They've even, it looks like they've made a nest in there at some point as well. In this bag there's loads of scuba diving equipment, and in there there's even more diving equipment. And oh, under here, and I'll show you this so you can see what I mean about the mess. This is my BCD, and it is absolutely covered and mouse droppings, which isn't very nice. Now the chances are I'll probably wash off when I go in the ocean, but it's still not nice, is it? And if they've gnawed a hole in this, yeah, I've got to check this actually, make sure there's not a hole in it, because it basically controls your buoyancy when you dive. So you need air, it's got air pockets in it. If the mice have gnawed through one of them air pockets, this is pretty much junk, and these aren't cheap. Although that one is quite old now. Could probably do with replacing it anyway. This is my wetsuit here. This is, well, not wetsuit, sorry, dry suit. This is for canoeing and kayaking, and it's gone a bit mouldy. So I'm quite glad I've come here today, or this weekend. So I'm thinking about going to B&Q to get some foamy, those foam corrugated things that fill these gaps along the back, and then I realised the answer is actually staring at me in the face, because I've got a couple of these cans of expanding foam kicking around. If you remember, I did an experiment with expanding foam trying to insulate my back doors. If you haven't seen that video, I'll definitely put a link up there to that video if you want a good laugh, because this stuff really does make a mess. But I'm glad I've got a couple of cans of this left over, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill all these holes up with this expanding foam. Apparently mice don't like it, so that's saved me a trip to B&Q, and it's going to get rid of that stuff as well. So all I've got to do is clear all this top shelf somehow, because this place is pretty full of crap. Look at this is pretty gross. Have a look at that up there. And this box was up there, and inside this box, inside here, is like my personal stuff that's, again, not of any value, but it's like memorabilia, if you like. And yeah, look what's happened to it. Not nice. So I really do need to get this sorted out. So that's the task for today. Keep the mice out of my lockup, and that's for good reason, I think. And what am I going to do with all that? Well, that sucks. Look, I think these must have a shelf life. Look at that. It's full, and yet nothing comes out. This one, same thing, nothing. If I squeeze the can, yeah, fucked. In all fairness, they've been in this garage for a couple of years, so yeah, it's kind of, yeah. So there you go. Expanding foam has got a shelf life. Who'd have thought it, eh? Well, I just had to go down to Wickes to get some expanding foam, because the stuff I had was no good. Let's hope this is better. It's actually gone out of date. Who'd have thought it? I didn't know, but expanding foam went out of date. Right, I did get a little tiny bit up in that far corner. We'll start from here and work my way across, I think. Just a little squirt. In as many cracks as I can get it. I'll do it upside down, isn't it? See what we can do. From experience, I think I should just leave it now to let it expand and do its thing. I think that will definitely keep the little rodents out of my lockup and stop them eating my scuba diving gear. I'm just going to put a bit more in that corner actually, that looks a bit some more. Brilliant. Right, whilst that all goes off, I'm going to have a stir fry. Didn't even get any on my gloves. Getting good at this. I think I'm going to call this video using expanding foam for what it's supposed to be used for and not insulation. Have a look at that. I don't think any mice are going to get through there. Excellent. Now I've let it dry off. I've had a bit of lunch and I'm just going to try and trim it off now. Hopefully it's dry enough. Stand up on here without hurting myself. Yeah, that didn't take long at all. It's only been like an hour, so I'm just going to pick most of this off. Actually, I'll probably leave it up there. It don't really matter. I'm going to put all my stuff back up here now. So you are, Wix's expanding foam. It goes off really quickly. It's literally 1 hour and it has gone off. So I'm really impressed with that, and it's only a £5 or a tin as well. Don't know if it's any good for insulation though. I've also put some up in these bits here because the rafters are getting a bit damp, so I thought if I squirt some in up here as well, look. Oh, sorry Mr. Spider. It might just stop that dampness coming through. But who knows, it won't hurt, will it, I suppose. Right, I'm going to carry on now, cleaning up this mess. Look at it all. I've put all this, most of this stuff can go back up there now. Oh, I've got something in my eye. Well, it's the very next day and it absolutely chucked it down last night, and I'm pleased to say that putting that expanding foam between the rafters and the ceiling where the nails come through has actually stopped it from leaking, because usually I would have a damp patch on this wall coming down here and I would most definitely have a streak of water coming down from that one, and it's not there, it's bone dry. I mean, the rafters are still looking a bit damp, but then that was only yesterday I did it. And also this one, I would usually get water dripping down into this bowl, and this bowl is, well, it's empty. So I'm going to leave that there because I don't know how long this is going to last. And I've also put a bowl at the bottom of this one to see if any water comes out. I'm going to leave that for a couple of months and just see if any water does collect. Fingers crossed it doesn't, it actually works. Now you may have noticed I've got a light on here. I've got my power oak, and my power oak powers my little light. So I'm just going to give you a quick reminder that at the end of this month I'll be giving one of these away. Well, a Bluetti that is. So make sure you visit that video and leave a comment in that video. Any comment will do, and at the end of this month I'm going to give away a Bluetti. After all, I don't need two of them. And this one's going to stay in here. And actually I'm not going to leave it in here. I'll keep it in the van and keep it charged up, so when I come to my lockup I've got power. So they are a really useful thing to have, not just for your camper van, for your lockup as well. So that brings me to another thing. There's my one piece of advice. If you are thinking about getting into van life and you're going to move into your van full time, I highly recommend getting a small lockup like this. After all, they're only about £50 a month. Well, I've seen them up to £100, but never more than £100 a month. Well worth it just to keep all your crap, just like I've got. And talking of crap, that's exactly what I've got to do now. Take all my winter stuff out of my van, bring it in here, grab my summer gear and put it into my van, ready for the summer. And I'm going to put some scuba diving gear in my van as well. Hopefully get some diving in this summer. Right, I think that's enough of a waffle from me. If you like this video, please do give me the thumbs up. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra for now.